Hoardganize Podcast. I am your host, professional organizer Rachel Seavey, and it's time to get organized. Hey, collectors. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday evening. We are continuing the December Decluttering Challenge. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the things that I personally have been giving away and my thoughts and beliefs behind why I've been keeping them and why deciding now to give them away. And a lot of people have asked me, because they've either been in my home or they just know me, do you even have 25 things to give away? And I don't mean one pencil at a time. I mean 25 substantial things to give away here. And honestly, I think I do. I mean, that sounds crazy to me, but I also have changed a lot since the last time I reviewed some things. I can see if I've been using them or not. It's hard when you work full time and try and have a life, if that's such a thing during the pandemic. But to constantly review your items. It's not like every day I'm constantly just going through stuff. I have to make time also. So I've been doing a lot of it before work and after work, and I've been posting on our Facebook page, specifically on our private group. And I just want to say I was posting publicly, and I might have accidentally even done that this morning, but I had one of my listeners and clients text me and say she was worried because I had taken pictures of things that were on my bed, and there's a lot of sickos out there. And I do get it. Like, I don't even realize that kind of thing sometimes. So I'm moving it all to the private Facebook group. It's easy to join on the Hoardganize Podcast, and it's for listeners only. I've got an amazing listener that's been helping me organize it and keep it going because I've never actually even done a Facebook group. So I'm getting the hang of it, and I have been posting my own stuff, which I didn't really think would get as much attention as it would get, but it really did. And I think that's great. I've had you guys texting me and messaging me and asking me about stuff. So I thought, well, I might as well just cover this on the podcast so that you can try and understand what it's like to be in someone who's organized mind. And I also don't have a lot of overly sentimental belongings in general. And I'm not to the point where now I have some things I would never, ever let go from people that have passed away and things like that. And so maybe I'll discuss that in the future. I believe I'm actually going to be covering that on another podcast. So I'll keep you posted about that and when it's going to air. And I just want you to know, I mean, somebody that's even organized like me will have 25 things they can give away. And we all kind of struggle with the same decisions on whether to keep something or give it away. Even though I don't have a lot of sentimental attachment to items in general, I do personally have some that I am very particular or would just be completely upset if they were to be gone. Hold on just a second. My dogs are fighting right next to me. I apologize. Hopefully I'll cut this part out. But another thing I posted on the Facebook page was that we are going into another shutdown, or I don't even know what to call it anymore, here in the Bay Area tonight, I think like right now. And I am recording this ultra late. Like, this is going to air almost right after I record it, and it'll probably be about 6:30 tonight. So sorry, you guys, but I spent the majority of my day at Home Depot. I have to go to Home Depot a lot to go get supplies for work. And the line was wrapped around, when I finally found parking, the line was wrapped around and they were at, some minimum capacity. And it was just a nightmare, just total nightmare. So I'm starting to think that maybe I should have those things delivered because I don't know what else to do. And so that made me not record a video because I wanted to get more. I mean, I've been literally running around at Home Depot all day, and that's not the cutest look. I mean, I don't need to be perfect on video, but if you're noticing on YouTube, there is no video to this because it's being recorded so late in the day. I just had to put it out there because I really wanted to go over this stuff with you. And a lot of the times I type things up. So if I'm getting off track here, it's because normally I have things typed up and I'm kind of referring to bullet points as I record. And I didn't even get a chance to do any of that. I've been working a lot. So those are my excuses on why this podcast is a little bit all over the place. Anyway, I have been having a lot of fun going through my stuff. Join the group so that you can see, but I'm going to cover some of the things that I got rid of so that you understand what it's like to make those kind of decisions. And maybe it'll be helpful for you when you're looking at your stuff. So the first thing I did is we're working in the bedroom. And day one, I got rid of this dress. And golly, you think like, where did I get this dress? And I had to think about it. And I thought, you know what? I got it at the Guess outlet here in Livermore, maybe like 5 years ago. And I've always wanted to like this dress. I've always wanted to like this dress, but every time I put it on, I feel like it's too clingy in all the wrong places. Like, even if you don't have a roll, it creates one or it shows your underwear line. Or so I thought, it's one of these things. Like, even like I said, the best of us do it. I said, well, maybe when I lose some weight, this dress is going to look amazing on me. So I saved it. That was like one of the only things too, just so you know. I don't do that a lot, but that is a dress that I like so much that I was saving until I lost some weight. And so here we are 5 years later, and I look at the dress and I go, perfect. I've lost the weight. I'm going to wear it on Thanksgiving. And had thought about it, what kind of boots to wear with it and everything. And so I was so happy I had it out, and I got dressed and I put it on, and it still clung in all the wrong places and still created rolls where there weren't. And it's just about the most unflattering thing I think I've ever put on in my life. I mean, that was that's when I hit my threshold on like, oh my God, this item has to go. Like that, like in a flash, it went from, oh my gosh, I love this dress. It's Thanksgiving and I'm going to wear it, to I hate this dress. Get it out of here. So it was a few days before December 1st when the challenge officially started, but I definitely thought, that dress is going to be the first thing that goes because it just represents everything that I don't like about clutter. So it's really, really good to let that go. The second thing, and I apologize if I'm going out of order, of course, Facebook got my Firefox or whatever crashed on me when I was pulling it. It's been one of those days. It's been a pandemic day. So I believe it was some jeans. And these jeans have a great story behind them because it's another thing that you would never think would happen to me. And I am the type of person that puts items in my cart, leaves them there overnight, leaves them there for 2 to 3 days and reviews them and thinks, do I really need this stuff? And constantly is deleting stuff. I really try and manage what I buy. So I had some jeans in my cart that were my normal size, and they were a different brand, and you'll see they were Levi's, and I see that Levi's are coming back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll get some Levi's. And then, gosh darn it, if Amazon Prime Day didn't, throw up into my email. Anyway, it happens to the best of us. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they're $30 or something like that. And good value. Think I like them, think I know my size. So I order them. and they came like really fast, probably too fast. You know how Amazon is. It can be kind of creepy sometimes. I don't know, here in the Bay Area, sometimes you order something and it's here like tonight or the first thing in the morning. So it came fast, and here's where I went wrong. And I've talked to clients about this because I think you guys like to hear that I even make mistakes. I thinking that Levi's size, was the same as other jean sizes that I buy, or, my waist measurement, or washed these, took off the tag and washed them before trying them on. And so I tried them on after they were clean and dry, and they were a little bit baggy. And the more I wore them, they started slipping down. And I own belts, but I just don't really know if I'm a belt person. I haven't really figured that out. And anyway, that's a different story. So I was wearing these jeans and they just felt like they were baggy and loose. And I was really trying to like them. I was like, oh, these are new jeans. And I don't even think it's because I lost a little bit of weight. It could be, but all my other jeans still fit me. I didn't lose that much weight where things are hanging off now. So I washed them in extra hot water and I put them in the dryer on extra hot. And then I put them on again. And an hour or so later, they're, just baggy and kind of saggy. And I just don't think that's cute. So, uh, brand new. And I know people were saying, why don't you sell them? I've actually discussed these items quite a bit with people. So that's why I'm saying I think it's interesting to you. And as you know, I don't have the time, capacity, energy. I just don't want to deal with selling things. I think I'm coming to that conclusion. I know I've kind of played around. Should I? No, I'm not selling anything. So, Levi jeans, buy. Those were gone. Okay, the third item, and I might be skipping some. There were a couple of tank tops that I posted. I think the third item was a Green Day tank top that I got from a Green Day concert that I went with the ex-boyfriend that, crushed me. And so I never really liked the way it fit. It was always too big, but I liked Green Day and I liked that moment. But really, do I? I really don't like that moment now. And I still like Green Day, and I've been to lots of their concerts, and I have other Green Day shirts and other memories that didn't involve him. So that went out, and that felt good because every time I go through my tank tops, and because I don't have that many things, I do feel those feelings. I'm like, oh, there's a Green Day. And it's like, I want to like it. I do want to like these items because I try and pare down as much as I can. But that thing was out of there. Another tank top was out of there too that I just never have liked the color on me. It's this weird pink sparkly fabric, and it was super cheap at Target, and I just wanted to move it on. So I think I posted more than 5. So I was kind of showing off, I guess. Then this is totally unrelated, or I thought it was, but it is related to this podcast, was going through, I have one wicker like cubby bin for my dog's jackets. I have 2 small dogs, and I know it doesn't get that cold, and some of you might roll your eyes. But I do put my dogs in jackets during the winter. Not every day, but especially if they're going to be outside for a long period of time. I like to have them cozy. And Snap was looking dapper in his jacket. He looked like he had trimmed down some from last year. And so he was looking really handsome. Star, on the other hand, nothing. And she had the majority of the different sweaters and things because they make really cute ones for little girl dogs. And Snap's kind of Shane's dog, and Shane only likes one sweater. And so Star had, I think it was like 4 or 5 like little sweaters with stars on them. And one was like a little puffy jacket with a faux fur hood and just cute stuff. I know you can roll your eyes because I'm a California girl with a small dog that wears clothing. So that's not stereotypical. And she couldn't fit into anything. And she has gotten round. She's 3, and she's kind of a bully. She always takes snaps treats. And so, oh, they're looking at me. I can't say that word. So she always takes those, and that's why she's round. She is like, I have to feed them separately, kind of a thing, if I want him to get the special whatever it is. And so I anyway, so I can make excuses for her. I am trying to make sure she gets on more walks, but she couldn't fit anything, and she was going to be spending some time outside. So I went over to Petco and bought her a new sweater, but I decided to just donate the other 4 jackets to ARF over here, the animal shelter, because they have a lot of small dogs, and really small dogs, a lot of them do like sweaters and things like that. So hopefully they can use those. But I got rid of those, and I thought that was kind of bedroom related and helpful, because now she just has one sweater that fits. And I don't think I'm going to get her any other sweaters until I realize really what size she's going to end up being. And if she wants to be this size, that's fine too. But that was a relief, because that drawer was getting a little bit cluttered, lol. It's just one little pull out bin from like where we sit down to put on our shoes, but now it's totally organized. It only has the things that the dogs love and use, and so I decided to put that on the Facebook page and part of the decluttering challenge. Another thing I got rid of, and I have others, and it's funny because I've even hit a block, and I should just, after I record this, just pull them all out. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just pull them all out, because I haven't gone to take anything for donation yet. I'm not sure if they're going to be open during the shutdown. So I still have all the stuff from the bedroom work that we did together, and I'll just add it to that. I promise I'll take a picture, but I need to pull out all of my Kate Spade bags, and I have 4 or 5, and that's actually the only designer bag that I have. People were like, wow, you have 5 bags you don't like. I actually probably only own 6 bags. So I'm getting rid of 90% of my purses, which is kind of hard. But like I said on the last episode, every time I wear my Kate Spade stuff, I think of her killing herself. I don't know. I'm just one of these people, call me weird or whatever. And it just bothers me. And it doesn't make me feel happy or cheerful or proud or love my handbag. It makes me just like, ooh, gives me just a weird feeling. Not super creepy, but just, it doesn't feel great any longer. And I want to feel great. And, you know, a lot of women out there, we love our purses, we love our handbags. And you don't want to wear one that gives you a feeling like, ugh, you just don't. And I go through my feeling a lot. If it makes me feel a certain way, then it's either in or out. So I advise you to do the same. If you get a gut wrenching stomach, you know, cramp, get rid of it. So I did on Facebook show you one black leather with sparkles Kate Spade bag that I'm just going to donate. Unfortunately, the women's shelters, I did call the women's shelters, because a few of you guys said, well, why don't you donate it there? And I love that idea, but they are really not accepting donations for COVID, which is weird, because I thought that that would be a great idea. And I also had some other things from a job that I had wanted to donate. So I was kind of bummed out that the homeless shelters, at least in my area, aren't accepting donations from COVID. So I only got that one purse out, snapped a photo of it, and then put it into my donation box. But I'm going to pull the other ones out, and just anything I have that makes me feel, ugh, even though we're out of the bedroom, I'm still going to take some time and add some things from the bedroom to my box. So feel free, if you want to backtrack, whatever you want to get rid of and share, or even not share, get rid of it. And the last thing that I can remember that I posted on the Facebook group was, oh, I remember what it was. Ugh, this was a hard one for me. Okay. Not as sentimental as like my dad's, who's passed away, belongings. Those are probably number one in my heart. Like, oh my God, nothing happened to these, please. I do have a teddy bear from when I was little still. So stuff like that. So there are a couple of items like my sister's ashes, okay, that I would just be crushed if anything happened to them. So this isn't as important as that, but I had, oh, and bless Shane's heart, he participated in the challenge too. So I'll make sure I include his little donation too. So I go into his room and I'm going through his stuff and I'm like, Shane, I have a podcast challenge. Can you get rid of something? We're working in the bedroom. And he's like playing Minecraft or whatever. He's, 13-year-old boys. He's 13, just turned 13. So I'm like, oh my gosh, quick, get off your computer and just find something. And this is what it's like to have a professional organizer as a mom. Like, he was not surprised. He just gets up and gives me a look like, ugh, and goes to his closet and picks out this shirt. I don't know if it was a Disney character. I don't know, you could see it's on the Facebook group, but it said something like, "You had me at bacon," and it's a drooling wolf. And he was like, "This shirt fits, but I've never liked it." So I'm like, "Yay, thank you, honey." And I'm rummaging through his closet, and he had this little bag from the dojo that he goes to. And inside, and I must have just tucked it away because it was semi sentimental for me, which is a kind of a big deal for me. It was his first little gi from when he was doing jujitsu, and he must have been about 3 when he wore it. So small and super cute. And I was like, "Oh my God, Shane, look, it's your gi." And he's mortified because I'm busting in there telling him to get rid of stuff, and he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Don't you want it?" And he's like, "Why? Why would I want that?" And that's all it took. I was like, okay, well, why would I want it? And I started thinking about it. I've probably got thousands, you know how moms are, of photos, at least hundreds of photos of this kid wearing his gi, this exact same gi. I have the certificate on when he first got his first belt. I believe, well, I know his dad has the belts, but I have all of the certificates from all of his geese, and I've been able to move along all of his geese. Like when he outgrows them, they're usually pretty gross, because those kids are just sweaty and wrestling and ugh. So I have thrown a couple out because they weren't even good for donating, but for some reason I've been hanging on to this thing. I had completely forgotten and tucked it away in his closet. And it was hard. It was hard. And so what I did, it's still in great condition, posted a photo of it. Um, but it has the name of the dojo on the gi, on the robe part. The little pants have a chance of being donated. I think maybe someone would want it for a costume, I'm hoping. But, part of me, it was hard because part of me thinks that the Goodwill is just going to throw it out because there's no need for it. And so that was hard, but I thought, I didn't want to throw it out. I didn't have the heart to throw it out. So I was still being a little sentimental, and I just folded it up, and hopefully they take it and they don't throw it out. And hopefully at least the pants make it to some other little kid. But, I can't be saving stuff in Shane's closet that he doesn't want and that I don't necessarily need. So that was kind of hard, but I'm over it now. Like, if you ask me how I feel now, I'm over it. But thinking about how I felt a few days ago going through it just keeps me aware of how you feel when you're going through things, whether I think that they should be sentimental or not. It's just kind of a hard feeling. And I'm so glad that I've been able to share this with you. I'm super, super excited for the people that have been brave enough to join the group and post what they've been getting rid of. I mean, how brave is that? And we've all been supporting each other. It's not too late to join. You could join the group tomorrow. You could join the group next week. We'll be doing this until December 25th. Right now, we are in the bathroom. I guess I'll try and keep it up to date and let you know that today, oh, gosh, see, this is hard too because I like Tony Robbins so much, but I don't like his cleanse program. So I actually had credit from not being able to go to one of his events because of COVID, and got some supplements. And the majority of them I really liked. So I'm not going to bash him there. But one of these things, and it was pretty pricey. It was I don't remember, maybe between 150, no, maybe $100. And it's like a detox program. It's supposed to cleanse the impurities out and, help you lose water weight and whatever weight. And it's one of these things, and it sounded good. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. And I was like waiting for the perfect time to try it. And then finally the perfect time came. And that was just, I didn't want to try it because it did say it kind of cleans you out, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to try it right before I went to work and then be in someone's house. So just keeping it real. So I had some time off, and the first thing I observed were that the pills smelled really rank, just bad. I love you, Tony, but I don't know what those things are. Maybe they clear you out. Okay, maybe they do. But I did take, it was a morning one and an afternoon one. I don't think I got further than that. And then the shake, oh my gosh, I just can't. I can't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I tried it with different things. I tried it with milk, I tried it with water, I tried it with oat milk, and just no matter what I tried it with, it was just not my deal. So I have a friend that's all into supplements, and I asked him if he wanted it slightly used, worth, $100 or more, and he said, yeah. So that's something I'm going to be giving to somebody I know, and they can go through the whole cleanse thing. And yeah, I'm really happy to see that stuff go. But I didn't throw it out because I felt like, oh gosh, it's so expensive. So I couldn't donate it. I don't think they take things like that at the donation center, especially if it's been opened and sampled. So I was really glad to find a good home for it. Had I not found a good home for it, just to take you to that level, yes, I would have thrown it out because there's no way that I would ever use that. Just FYI, I would have totally thrown it out, but I'm so glad that somebody else is going to get to use it, and let them throw it out or love it, whatever. I probably won't even follow up. I'm just glad that it's going to be out of here because it's actually kind of a big box, and it was in my bathroom cabinet, which isn't that big. So it made a lot of room, and that was exciting. I think that wraps up this no script, last minute ish follow up on the December decluttering event. Again, as you've heard throughout the show, I'm encouraging you to participate. You can email me, you can call me, you can join the private Facebook group. You don't have to do one a day. That's just the goal. Or you can just support other people who are uploading or posting what they're getting rid of, and join a really safe, friendly community of people that are non-judgmental and just trying to help each other out. So I'll be excited to get some new members in. Another thing, and that's why this is coming out late, is we have a shutdown again. So I am definitely offering pandemic pricing throughout the new year, and that's 50% off my hourly rate to do coaching. So I've been coaching a lot of you, and I've been really excited on the different methods I've been using. Some of us are doing phone with pictures. Some of us are FaceTiming. I've got Zoom going on, and I'm even thinking of creating a group coaching session on Tuesdays at a very low cost for up to 5 members. So I'm really excited about that. And if you need help going through your clutter, or if you need help deciding what to get rid of or how you should attack any size organizing project, please feel free to hire me as your coach. I will guide you step by step to help you through whatever it is you need help with. We go through actual physical clutter and where to take it. And we go through what are the beliefs that are holding you back from living that organized life you really desire. So we cover it all. When you're working with me everything's confidential, and you've got things that we're following up on. You've got homework to do, and you've got somebody that's got your back, and you've got a lot of support. So you can hire me as your coach either by sending me an email at rachel@collectorcare.com, or you could go to collectorcare.com and fill out a form there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I hope to see you online, and hopefully everybody's having a great week going through their bathroom, getting rid of one thing a day, and we'll be talking next week. Until next time, collectors. And remember, happiness is a place between too little and too much.